Well, Hurricane Helene has pounded Florida's Gulf Coast after making landfall as a Category 4 storm. CTV's Scott Hurst joins us live with the latest. Scott, I was telling you about some of these incredible images that I'm seeing on social media. I just saw from an ABC report alligators kind of swimming through the streets. And in one video, I saw a guy in his living room with about 6 feet of water, and he's sitting in his living room floating on a kayak.
In a kayak, I saw that video too. Yeah, the damage is quite extensive and it is quite severe in many regions, and the impact will last for quite some time. When it came ashore as a Category 4 storm, Jamie, that meant winds of well over 200 kilometers an hour, and so that caused a lot of damage to homes, of course. A lot of people needed to be rescued. We're hearing about hundreds of rescues in Florida alone, and now the impact will be for several days, if not weeks. People potentially without power for that long. And there are more than 4 million people across several states in the U.S. Southeast that are still without power. More than 1.3 million people in South Carolina, more than 1 million people in Georgia and Florida, both without power. And so that is how widespread and severe this storm was. And these rescues continue throughout the day, and we'll start to get a much better picture of the extent of the damage throughout the day, even though, as you mentioned, Jamie, the images that we're seeing are quite severe and quite significant already. We're hearing people rescued off roofs and people rescued from their homes because they can't get anywhere safe. If they did hunker down and they are okay, now there's floodwater in their way, there's downed trees, you see boats in people's front yards in their way, so there is still quite a significant cleanup and still quite a lot of work that officials need to do to even just assess the damage, Jamie.
Scott, what's the trajectory of this particular storm? We understand that it's possibly heading through Georgia up the Carolinas. What do we know about that?
Yeah, Jamie, right now it's lashing northern Georgia and kind of sideswiping South and North Carolina, and it's going to move northwest. So that's a left-hand turn. Fortunately for our friends in the Maritimes who are used to the remnants of these hurricanes, tropical storms, and then straight up hurricanes themselves, sounds like they'll be spared from this storm, but there's still quite a punch left in this storm, even though it is just a tropical storm. It'll impact states like Tennessee and Kentucky. We're hearing from the governor of Kentucky warning residents to be extra vigilant through today and into tomorrow. They're still talking about heavy rain, damaging winds, and flash flooding to that state, and that is several states up from Georgia, several states up from Florida, where this storm first hit. So it is still causing significant concern for many states, still millions of people in the path of what is now a tropical storm, but still packing quite a punch, Jamie.
CTV's Scott Hurst, we appreciate the updates. Thank you.